Hi, kindergarten friends. For this lesson, I'm going to read our Reading Street Book of the Week, which is titled Alistair and Kip's Great Adventure. So I know that it might be kind of hard to see because this book the pictures are kind of small, but it is a fiction book. Last week we did nonfiction with our Beaver book, but this book is fiction, so it is make-believe, and you're going to see lots of things in here that show you that it is a fiction book. The author is John Siegel, and it looks like he's also the illustrator because there isn't a separate illustrator listed. So Alistair and Kip's Great Adventure. It was Tuesday morning. Alistair was bored. So what day was it? It was Tuesday. Yep, it says right there. It was Tuesday morning. Kip, let's do something new, said Alistair. We could build a boat and travel to far and distant lands. What kind of boat? Asked Kip. And so there are different types of boats over here. So sloop, catboat, dory, scow, ketch, skiff, and a kayak. So they're thinking about all the different boats that they could build. Alistair knew just what to do. He and Kip gathered wood and paint, and cloth and rope, and hammer and nails, and then they went to work. They measured, they cut, hammered, and glued. Before they knew it, their boat was built. And Alistair, the cat, is saying, "Ready, Kip?" And Kip says, "Gee, Alistair, I don't know." But it was too late. Alistair had cast off. The boat was drifting downstream. "Quick, Kip, jump in," shouted Alistair. Their voyage had begun. What do you think a voyage is? Say it out loud. What do you think a voyage is? Their trip? Yeah, they're going to go on a trip and they're going to new places. They rowed down the creek. So the creek is a really small body of water. They rowed down the creek to the river. So the river, you can see, is a little bit wider and bigger than the creek. So here they are on the river. Oh, and then they went into the bay. Look at how big that body of water is. So they started by paddling down the creek, and then to the river, and into the bay. And out to sea. Whoa. They were a long way from home. And there's a big ship because they're out to sea in their little boat. Suddenly, a giant wave picked up the boat and hurled it through the air. Oh no. Alistair and Kip, they flew out of the boat. Another wave pulled Alistair and Kip down deep into the sea. Oh, they see all kinds of sea creatures down there. And they're still in the sea. Kip, look, an island. Phew. What was that? getting kind of pushed up. Boom! Oh no, what do you think's happening? That wasn't an island. What were they on? Or what are they? They were on the whale. And what happened? The whale shot water out of its blowhole and shot them up into the air. Help! Hey, you scared me, bellowed the whale. Please help us. We need to get home. Well, why didn't you say so? Climb aboard. So the whale is telling them to get back up on his back. And there they are, on the whale. They rowed through the bay to the river and up the creek. So look at how the whale looks in the sea. So he fits really well in the sea, right? Because he's huge and the sea is huge. And then he goes into the bay where it's a little bit smaller. Oh, and then the river, which is quite small compared to the sea. Oh, look at him in the creek. The creek is such a small body of water. And the whale took him all the way home. Goodbye and thank you, said Alistair. That was fun, Kip. Tomorrow, let's build an airplane. And he's holding a toy airplane right now. Do you think Kip likes that idea? So, I want you to say out loud what parts of this book helped tell you that it is fiction. What was happening in this book that would not be happening in real life? The cat and the dog talking, yes. The cat and the dog making a boat, yes. And paddling it through the creek and the river, into the bay and into the ocean. How about the whale? Do whales talk? No, whales don't talk. What else? The whale going all through those smaller bodies of water. Do they go into those smaller bodies of water? Have you ever seen a whale in a river or in a creek? No. So there were lots of parts that helped tell us that this was a fiction book. But fiction books are fun to read because of the make-believe part of them. They are a joy to read. So I hope you liked Alistair and Kip's Great Adventure. I enjoyed reading it to you. And for our writing this week, we did our animal research papers, but there's also a prompt on there that you could write about an adventure that you would like to have. So we know that this is made up. You can also make up an adventure to have. Thank you, friends, for joining me. I'll see you soon. Bye.